This is an adversary hearing involving the Taylor child. Miss Taylor, the mother, is not with us, and she is not in the waiting room. And we have another alleged father, Lyle Potter. He is not with us. He's not in the waiting room. I'm sorry, I said Slater, and I meant Salter. I apologize for that. Mr. Salter, if you would unmute, please. All right.
There you go, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I sure can.
All right, Mr. Salter, I need to admonish you. They have pledged you in this case as what's called an alleged father, which basically tells me that at the time that the child was born, you were not married to Miss Taylor. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Were you at the hospital when, is it Kaisley? Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes. I was at the hospital when she was born. Yes, sir.
All right. Do you recall, did anyone from the hospital staff give you some paperwork to sign, which is called an acknowledgement of paternity, whereby you said that you were acknowledging you were the biological father?
I don't know if they did. Honestly, it's been a while, and I do know that they said I couldn't sign the birth certificate, and that's what I do remember. Okay. So I do apologize. If they did give me paperwork, I'm not aware of it. It's been 3 years.
I understand. That's perfectly fine. So I need to tell you, since you're an alleged father, you have the absolute right to have paternity testing to show that you either are or you are not the biological father of this child. Do you understand that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to ask for paternity testing?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay. All right. I'll make note of that. We'll go ahead and I'll make that part of my order when we conclude this hearing. We'll go ahead. We have time limits, so we have to go ahead with the adversary hearing. And I cannot appoint you an attorney at this point. Once you take the paternity test, if you are in fact the biological father, then you have the right to an attorney. And if you can't afford an attorney at that point, you'll have the right to ask that I consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney at no cost to you. Do you understand that?
At the start of this hearing, the judge calls the case involving a young child, Kaisley Taylor. The mother, Whitney Taylor, is missing from court, and 2 men are listed, one as a presumed father and one as an alleged father. Mr. Jonathan Salter joins remotely, clarifying that he was present at the child's birth but never married the mother. The judge carefully explains Salter's rights, including DNA testing to confirm paternity and the right to an attorney if he's found to be the biological father.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so if it comes back you are the father and you can't afford an attorney, just get with anyone from St. Francis, the department, or you can contact my office to get the paperwork to fill out to ask for that court-appointed attorney, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then. Ms. Gutierrez, no one else is in my waiting room. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do ask the court as well to take note that Mr. Potter is filed as a presumed father.
Oh, okay.
Well.
I'm sorry, I had him. Okay.
That's okay, but I think genetic testing is the best thing in this case, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
I also ask that the court take judicial notice of the 3010 forms filed with the clerk on September 19th of 2025.
Okay. What's a 3010 form?
That is a notification of rights that includes what's now statutorily required for the department to inform alleged perpetrators before the interview of things like their rights to an attorney, their rights to record the interview, and things like that.
I knew what that was. I just didn't know it had a number to it. So, okay, I will take note of that. I should have known everything has a number to it. All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next request that the court confirm with...
The atmosphere feels procedural, but you can sense the tension building as the facts begin to unfold. The case quickly turns serious when the Department of Family and Protective Services steps in. Investigator Emily Braden testifies about a disturbing intake report. Allegations included a car accident involving the child, concerns over poor hygiene, and possible neglect. The description is heartbreaking. Kaisley was reportedly so dirty that hospital staff had to wash her before treatment. The investigator confirms that multiple agencies were already tracking the family.
Mr. Salter, that notification of rights was reviewed with him, including his right to confer with an attorney before discussing anything with the department, as well as his right to record the interview.
All right, Mr. Salter, were you provided that form and read your rights?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Emily Braden as its witness.
All right. Ms. Braden, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Emily, who do you work for?
I work for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm an investigator.
And have you investigated an intake regarding the child Kaisley Salter Taylor?
Yes, I have.
And is the mother of Kaisley Whitney Taylor?
Yes.
And is Kaisley's date of birth July 23rd of 2022?
Yes.
Who is the child's presumed father?
Lyle Potter.
And who is the child's alleged father?
Jonathan Salter.
And did you receive an intake on August 8th of 2025?
The department received an intake with those allegations, yes.
And was it on that date?
This early testimony paints a troubling picture, setting the stage for what could become a case of chronic endangerment and parental unfitness. The investigator recounts how another agent, Ms. Delgado, inspected the car from the crash. What she found was alarming. A car seat unsuitable for a toddler, jammed seatbelts buried under piles of clutter, and belongings filling the car from floor to ceiling. They suspected the child wasn't even buckled in, which could explain her broken femur.
Yes.
Can you tell us what those intake allegations were?
There were concerns about Whitney Taylor getting into a car accident with Kaisley in the vehicle. There were concerns about the conditions of Kaisley whenever she was taken into the hospital for medical care in regards to physical neglect, her physical well-being, being dirty and uncared for.
Okay. And how was her hygiene described in the intake?
They described that they had to... I apologize.
She's having a medical.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Somebody had to come into my office very quickly. There were concerns that she had matted hair and she needed to be washed down by medical staff before they were able to provide medical care.
Thank you, Emily. Based on this intake, did investigator Ashley Delgado make contact or attempt to make contact with the family?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And did she receive that initial report on August 11th, 2025?
That's correct.
And by saying that, I mean, was she assigned to that intake on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And based on that, did she go out to inspect the car that the child had been in during Ms. Taylor's wreck?
The department's concerns deepened after visiting the boyfriend's home, where a frightened woman answered the door with a black eye. Even more disturbing, the boyfriend reportedly shouted profanities at the investigator and refused to cooperate, hinting at a volatile and unsafe environment for the child. As the investigation continued, social workers struggled to find Whitney Taylor and the child. Multiple attempts to locate them failed, forcing the agency to place Kaisley on a child safety alert list, a statewide law enforcement notice that flags the child during any traffic stop. Eventually, that alert worked.
Yes, she did.
Can you tell us a little bit about what she observed when observing the car?
Yes, in the car, she observed a car seat that was not appropriate for Kaisley's age or development. It was more like a booster seat, and she needed a slightly smaller car seat. The conditions of the car were obviously wrecked from impact during the accident, and the inside of the car was full of belongings, very little room for anybody to sit besides the driver, all the way up to the spot where the car seat was at. There were belongings from top to bottom inside the cab of the vehicle.
And what concerning observation did Ms. Delgado make about the seat belt that would have been used to strap in the car seat Kaisley was in?
The seatbelt was observed to be lodged underneath a whole bunch of belongings, which led Investigator Delgado, as well as the other special investigator that was out there, to believe that the car seat was not, or that Kaisley was not buckled in when the accident occurred, which led her to move forward, causing the fracture in her femur.
Okay, thank you. Following that, did Investigator Delgado next visit what she thought was Ms. Taylor's boyfriend, Blake Vargas?
Police pulled Taylor over and discovered she was traveling with a registered sex offender. The car belonged to her employer, who himself had just been arrested for a major methamphetamine bust. These discoveries transformed a custody dispute into a full-blown child endangerment case. When investigators finally met with the mother, her admissions were startling. Whitney confessed to long-term alcohol and methamphetamine use, admitting she had recently relapsed, even drinking a week before the crash that injured her daughter.
Yeah.
And who answered the door at Mr. Vargas's residence?
A woman named Crystal Schultz answered the door. Her relationship to Mr. Vargas is unknown, but she did present with a black eye and she appeared very fearful, and she confirmed that Whitney and the kiddo were staying at that residence.
Okay. See? And did Mr. Vargas later speak with Investigator Delgado?
Yes, he was not cooperative. He used a lot of profanity and told her to get off of his property.
Did he also refuse to disclose where Miss Taylor and the child were located at?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
For the record, Ms. Gutierrez, is it Vargas, V-A-R-G-A-S?
Oh, it's Vargas, but with a B, B-A-R-G-A-S.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go
And
ahead.
Emily, did Investigator Delgado also contact Mr. Salter, the alleged father?
Yes, she did.
Okay, and what did Mr. Salter explain to Investor Delgado?
He explained that he didn't have any legal guardianship of Kaisley since Miss Taylor was married at the time that Kaisley was born. He talked about having a relationship with Kaisley. However, he just didn't have any sort of guardianship.
She also refused to take a supervised drug test, claiming discomfort, which only raised more suspicion. Her boyfriend, meanwhile, admitted to using meth every 3 to 4 hours. The home, littered with tools and hazardous clutter, was clearly unsafe. What started as an accident investigation was rapidly escalating into evidence of neglect and substance-driven instability. Amid this chaos, Jonathan Salter, the alleged father, emerges as the only stable figure. Though he lacks legal custody, he expresses a genuine desire to care for his daughter. He tells investigators
To care for her.
Okay. And did he also state that he was unsure about the whereabouts of Kaisley and Miss Taylor?
Yes, I believe so.
Right.
I don't know.
And well, they had the investigation. Did Investigator Delgado, did she make several attempts to contact Miss Taylor that were unsuccessful?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And due to that, was the child placed on the Child Safety Check Alert List, or also known as C-Scout?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And can you explain what a child being placed on that list does?
Yes, so what happens whenever a child is placed on a C-Scout? They are put on a notification to law enforcement. So if at any point in time Miss Taylor were to be stopped during like a traffic stop or anything like that, it would notify the officer that the department is looking for this family, for this child, and they are to notify CPS immediately.
Okay, thank you. And then on September 9th of 2025 was Miss Taylor pulled over by Amarillo Police Department.
Yes, she was.
And during that traffic stop, who is she identified to be with?
She was identified to be with Isaiah Valdez.
he's maintained regular FaceTime visits and wants Kaisley placed with him. However, because of his uncertain paternity and current living arrangements, that transition can't happen immediately. The judge acknowledges his cooperation, but emphasizes that until DNA confirms his status, he can't be granted guardianship. Despite the bureaucratic hurdles, Salter's calm and consistent attitude contrasts sharply with the mother's erratic behavior. Then comes the breaking point. The department receives the child's hair follicle test results. Kaisley tests positive for methamphetamine. The revelation stuns the courtroom.
Who we were able to confirm is a sex offender.
Okay, and whose vehicle was she in?
She was in her employer's vehicle. His name is Harold Bashaw.
And what information do you have on Mr. Bashaw regarding a September 2nd, 2025 arrest?
He was arrested on September 2nd for large amounts of methamphetamine and pills.
Okay. Your Honor, the department offers petitioner's exhibit number 4, a police report on Mr. Bashaw.
All right, any objections?
No objection, Judge.
All right, petitioner's 4 is admitted.
Thank you. Emily, can you please spell Mr. Bashaw's full name?
Harold, last name Bashaw.
Thank you. And during her conversation with APD, did Ms. Taylor confirm that she resides with Mr. Bashaw?
Yes, she did.
Let's see. Following that, were you reassigned as the investigator to this intake?
Yes, I was.